In the tumultuous world of organized crime, where loyalty is currency and betrayal is met with bloodshed, one name stood out among the rest: Crazy Joe Gallo. Born and bred in the heart of Brooklyn, Joe and his brothers cut their teeth as enforcers for the Profaci crime family during the peak of the American mafia's power. The brother would base themselves at President Street, Brooklyn. Under the tutelage of Frankie Shots Abitamarco, a seasoned capo in the Profaci family, the Gallo boys honed their skills and quickly rose through the ranks. They carved out a niche for themselves by extorting local businesses, including a notorious union that targeted bar owners. But success bred discontent. Despite their loyalty and service to the Profaci family, the Gallos felt undervalued and exploited. Their frustration boiled over when they took high-ranking members of the family hostage to voice their grievances. However, their attempt to assert themselves only ignited a full-blown war. Betrayal lurked in the shadows as Carmine Persico, a trusted ally, switched sides, earning himself the nickname Snake among the Gallos. The conflict escalated, engulfing the entire New York mafia in a deadly struggle for supremacy. Profaci ordered the hit of one of the Gallos' top men, Joseph Gioielli, and Larry Gallo was strangled at a bar, though it was foiled by the intervention of a police officer. This event would be immortalized in the Godfather 2 movie when Frank Pentangeli is strangled in similar circumstances. As the war raged on, law enforcement watched from the sidelines, waiting for the opportune moment to strike. Finally, in 1961, Crazy Joe was sentenced to prison, marking a temporary ceasefire in the bloody feud. But peace was short-lived. With Joe's release, the stage was set for the Second Colombo War. Joseph Colombo, once a captive of the Gallos, now led the family, pitting him against his former captors. Colombo had gifted Joe $1,000, which Joe took as an insult, and the war would erupt again. Records show over 10 victims of the Mafia War. In 1971, Colombo was gunned down from close range at an Italian Unity Day in Columbus Circle, New York, by an African-American gunman while preparing to address the crowd. After hitting the Mafia boss, the assailant, Jerome Johnson, dressed as a photojournalist, was dispatched by one of Colombo's security outfits. Although the Colombo family largely held Gallo responsible for Colombo's assassination due to him making close acquaintances with black inmates while imprisoned, the police ultimately concluded that Johnson was the only shooter after questioning Gallo. While most of the mob speculated on why Gallo might have ordered a hit on the criminal lord, Gallo's life continued as usual. After the Colombo hit, Gallo would disrespect Russell Bufalino, the Don of the Pennsylvanian Bufalino family, by mocking the Don's membership to Joe Colombo's Anti-Defamation League. Joe's fate was sealed. On his 43rd birthday, gunmen stormed his celebration at Umberto's Clam House, cutting him down in a hail of bullets. In the early hours of the morning, Crazy Joe Gallo breathed his last, bringing an end to a saga of violence and vendetta. But even in death, Joe's legend lived on. From books to films, his exploits captivated audiences. Gallo's conflict with the Profaci family was exaggerated and satirized in Jimmy Breslin's 1969 book The Gang That Couldn't Shoot Straight, with a feature in 1971 as well as the 1974 film Crazy Joe. After 2 wars, the Chronicles of the Crazy Kid from Red Hook, Brooklyn, closed its last chapter.